Hello, my beautiful soul. So, welcome to another live stream today. So, as you can see, I am not alone today. I brought a special guest because many of you have been asking me, Trish, you talk about manifesting weight loss, but how can we manifest weight gain? And since I'm not really, into manifesting the weight gain. I thought to myself, you know what? So I can answer all your questions and give you that video. I'm going to invite someone special who knows about manifesting weight gain. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Hi, guys. I'm David, and I've been in the fitness industry now for over 10 years. I coached many clients and I did many plans and all that stuff. I came across that gaining weight is very similar to losing weight. And there is, of course, a certain thing you need to do or certain things you need to do, but it starts way earlier. And I would like to explain more later. But yeah, that's it for me. And I would say continue, please.
Okay. So, as I already mentioned, I get this question asked a few times like, okay, how can I manifest my weight gain? So, I speak a lot about manifesting weight loss, and this question came up. So, how to, manifest the weight gain? Can I do it the same way or whatever in general? So I guess you know about my videos and how I manifested my weight loss. So can you do that in the same way, or what is required to manifest, or yeah, to manifest your weight gain?
So, of course, it works in a similar way, but it's not quite the same thing because if you manifest weight loss, you primarily not only thinking yourself, but you're kind of, as you said, it starts in your mind. You need to shift something in your mind. And the thing is, you can start thinking of losing weight and automatically your body adjusting to your thoughts, and you start eating maybe a little bit less or more conscious, and then you're automatically losing weight. But
Okay.
if you want to gain weight, it's a little bit different because you need to eat more. Of course, you need to have more calories and all that stuff. But the primary thing is it starts the same. So which means you still start in your head. You start thinking of yourself, okay, hey, you look in the mirror and you say, for example, I would like to gain weight, right?
Yeah.
And then you see yourself and you start envisioning yourself. How would you look with more weight on? Let's say
Okay.
with
Yes.
let's say bigger thighs or bigger arms as a man, for example, bigger shoulders. Is it muscle? Is it fat you want to gain? There's different options of gaining weight, right?
Okay.
So
So I guess that means first of all, decide what it is that you want. So would you like to gain more muscles, or would you like to gain more weight in the meaning of fat?
yeah, more like thinking like how would I like to look? For example, when you're losing weight, apparently you see yourself and you'd like to see yourself a little bit thinner or more curved, whatever it is, like have an hourglass shape, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with gaining weight. First you need to see yourself, how would I like to look like? For example, for me it was of having more muscle, having less fat, looking like not a bodybuilder but like a fitness guy.
Yeah.
And then I saw myself first, and then of course I got inspiration from pictures, from videos and all that stuff, but kind of get the stone rolling and starting to see myself in the mirror. Hey, that's what I want to look like. And then you start thinking of that more consciously. Then in the back of your head, in the subconscious mind, think like, okay, I need to put on more weight. As I said, weight gain, muscle gain, it doesn't matter. But first, see yourself how you want to look. Okay. Decide what you want, see yourself, and then in the mirror, try to envision yourself how you look. Like kind of when you do like you do the portrait where you have your face and you put a different body or stuff like that, to see yourself. The same thing you do in the mirror. So you start thinking about it. And from there on, of course, I cannot only think about it. You, of course, need to do stuff. But first, you start thinking about it. Then, for example, with affirmations, you can start like talking, like either writing it down or talking to yourself and say, hey, I am healthy and I gain weight, or I gained weight. Like, so, it's just very simple, but you can type and write it down as specific as you want for yourself, but start with affirmations. For example, I did that a lot. Then envision myself and do affirmations together, so you get in the right direction. Then of course, once you did that and your body is primed to gaining weight, of course, then you're like in the right direction, you automatically will gain weight, because in the back of your head your destination is gaining weight, right? And therefore it is very important that everything you do after that, you started going in that direction, is automatically in the subconscious mind, is thinking of, when you do a decision, should I eat, for example, I don't know, rice, or should I eat salad? Salad has almost no calories. Rice has more calories. And if you want to gain weight, you automatically make a conscious decision going to eat the rice instead of the salad, because salad is gonna make you feel like very light, and you cannot gain weight because there's no calories, right? And it's always, in the end, it's still an equation behind when you want to gain weight. That's what it's a little bit different, because you need to eat more than you burn. So it is, if you're trying to lose weight, it's easier, just eat a little bit less. It's like automatically drink more water, eat a little bit less. And when you're gaining weight, you really need to eat more calories, which for some people is a little bit difficult. So if you do that manifestation part and you envision yourself, and you do that already, then practical steps which you need to take, of course, because you cannot just tell yourself, I do it and it's gonna happen. It's no magic formula.
That's exactly what I tell you guys. Like, what I tell you is, take inspired action. So basically, we talk about that as well. I tell you, you visualize what it is that you want. You decide, you define, okay, this is how I want to look, and then now you visualize it. And of course, you need to take the action steps, and not just running around and just do something. It is inspired action, and the action means inspired by that version of yourself that you want to become. So as you mentioned, that you must know, like, let's say you want to gain muscles, so you would know, okay, I want to gain muscles. So now you take that action inspired by you wanting to gain muscles, and not by you wanting to lose weight, in that kind of sense. So this is the taking inspired action step. And as I understood, so first of all, you visualize,
of course,
and then afterwards you say yourself affirmations. So basically nearly the same as losing weight. You really have to prep your mind and your brain for it, especially, as you also said, the subconscious mind.
Exactly. It's the start is let's say the strategy, or the start, the basics, the foundation is kind of always the same, just with a little bit of twists. It still starts in the mind. You still do the affirmations, you still do the manifestations, the visualizations, always the same, but you just look in a different direction, right? Different direction is gaining weight, different direction is building muscle, or losing weight, but you still do the same things. And for example, if you want also practical steps how you can easily start gaining weight, I can give you 2 right now. Like, one thing is, for example, stop drinking water before you eat.
Okay.
It's very important, because,
by the way, guys, I'm sorry to interrupt you. If you have any questions in between that you would like to know, write them down in the comment section. And I guess this is the moment for you to go grab yourself a pen and a paper and write this down if you're wanting to manifest your weight gain.
That's very important. So 2 practical steps. They're super simple. It seems obvious, but it's not. It's always the things which seem the simplest and the obvious which help you the most. Like, one thing is, as I said, stop drinking water like 15 to 30 minutes before eating. Because if you drink 1, 2, 3 big glasses of water, you're not gonna have the same appetite.
Okay.
Because if you do that, then it's already your stomach is already filled with water.
Okay, but I mean, we are talking about manifestations here. So what is if you tell your mind that even if I drink this water right before I eat, it is still going to allow me to gain my weight?
The thing is, there is it is a good question, but I believe there's certain things, even though with manifestations, you still need to follow up with something, right? With changes, let's say with changes, right? So therefore, it's a natural occurrence of the body. For example, if I eat, I'm not hungry anymore, right? Should be, exactly. For example, if you eat, like if let's say, okay, you're hungry and you eat the right amount until you're full, so you don't feel any hunger anymore, right? So the normal thing. The same thing if you're thirsty, you keep drinking until you're not thirsty anymore. So this is naturally in the body.
Okay.
And if, for example, I ate, I don't need to eat anymore, right? That's kind of simple. That's a simple logic. Like you don't want to, if you're full, you don't want to eat. You don't think about food. But if you're hungry, like, oh, what should I eat? And you have all these ideas of foods which you like, and you feel good. So therefore, I would say there's some certain rules. Not rules is a bad thing, but certain principles you can take to make it easier for yourself.
Okay.
Everything works. You can still drink the water before, and you can still gain weight, but you make it harder for yourself, right?
Yeah, understood.
Because if you fill your, let's say, your stomach, if you're looking to gain weight, you need to eat more calories, right? Of course, you visualize it, you go in the right direction, but you still make the smart decisions and the conscious decisions through gaining weight, which means you choose more calorie dense foods and all that stuff. You're eating stuff, like you're eating changes. And for example, if you want to gain muscle, you go to the gym and all that stuff. You still need to do it. It doesn't come from sleeping and thinking of gaining weight. Of course, it just helps you go in the right direction, and it helps you achieve it faster. That's 300% for sure.
Okay.
But still, if you for example, if you just tell yourself manifestations and you lay in bed, or just you don't do anything about it, nothing's gonna change, right? So therefore, you still need some practical steps, which I say, for me, it's never the drastic change. The drastic change never gives you the lasting results you want. So therefore, it should be just simple tweaks, which doesn't really affect your normal being, right?
Yeah, of course. So, as you mentioned, very nice that you have to take the action, and it's called law of attraction. So
Exactly.
you have to put in the action. And as you just mentioned before, a little bit about the gym. So I heard about this thing. It's called like the mind-muscle connection. So is this something that you could combine with manifesting? Does it mean, because everything starts with the mind, and I don't know exactly what this means, but is this also a way to how you kind of manifest that weight gain to make your muscle grow faster, or what can you tell me about this?
I mean, of course, because it all, as I said, and you said in other videos, it all starts in the mind. And the same thing is for mind and muscle connections. This is something that needs to be trained, right? It's the same thing with manifesting. You're a beginner and then you become pro if you keep doing the same thing over and over again. The same with mind and muscle connection. If you first go to the gym, the couple first times, you just feel it everywhere. You don't even know what you're training, you just, for example, you make a press and then, but you feel it in the back, you feel it in the legs, you don't know what you're doing, right? But as you progress and go into it, you start feeling more connection in the muscle you're really training. For example, if you do front shoulders, you feel it in the front shoulders. At the beginning, you felt it everywhere, right? In the arms, and it was hard to hold. So therefore, once you keep doing the same thing, you start getting stronger at that mind-muscle connection. And of course, if you, for example, what I always do before I go to the gym, I tell myself, hey, today you're going to have a great training session. You're going to get stronger every time you go into the gym and all that stuff. I tell myself that every time. And I see that I'm making these changes, even though I'm very experienced in training. You can still make changes or get better every time you go to the gym, just by simply putting your mind to it and telling yourself and your body, it's like priming yourself for doing something. For example, if I keep telling myself I'm good at math, and I keep doing math and let's say try to get better at it, I get better. Okay. It's simple. It's like a feedback loop. You tell yourself, the more you tell yourself, the more it becomes. The best and simplest thing is, for example, when you're in a crowd and someone starts clapping, it's one person, then it's 5, then it's 10, then it's hundreds. Yeah. And it's the same thing in your head. if you keep telling yourself with affirmations and manifestations, you visualize every morning, every evening before you go to bed. It's the only thing you think about. And in the back of your head, it starts changing. And change takes time, of course. You also cannot, let's say, I manifest weight loss, and 2 days later you manifested it. It's not how it works, right? It takes time.
If you know how it goes.
Of course. Some things come faster, some things go longer. But with manifestations, me personally, how I found it, I couldn't manifest something, or let's say, sometimes it's not as fast as I want, and sometimes it's much faster than I expected, right? So it really depends also on the person, what is the goal you're trying to manifest, and all that stuff. Yeah. And of course, how much you worked towards it in the end, as you said, the action steps are very important.
I think like this, what you just mentioned with the speed of the manifestation, it has a lot to do with your alignment. So how are you aligned with your energies? How are you aligned with the energy of the universe? Because you always co-create together with the universe. So if you are someone who is really in alignment and really can pull those energies out and really is in tune and conscious knowing with your subconscious mind, if you have that alignment and connection to it, you can basically manifest really fast results, actually, because everything starts in your mind, in your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is that part that is connected to the universe as well. So if you want fast results, by the way, you can really make sure that you are aligned with your mind and start listening as well to your subconscious mind, because as we heard in this example as well, as you said, before you go to the gym, you tell yourself, I'm going to have a great workout. This is the affirmation. This is telling yourself and telling your subconscious mind, prepping it, giving it that command that it knows what it is that you want it to do. It knows now what it has to do. It knows the order, because your subconscious mind has only two functions: to protect you and to give you that what it is that you want. But you need to tell it that what it is that you want, and you tell it in a way of positivity. You tell it in a way of, I am having a great training, and you will have a great training, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I 100% believe that you need to be ready. Yeah. To affirm it and to receive it, especially to receive it, you need to be ready, because for example, if let's say the universe tries to deliver, but the mailbox is not there, where should it deliver? So therefore you should be ready, and then once you're ready, it comes. So sometimes you're asking yourself, why is it not coming? Because you're not ready, or you're missing the steps to do it, or what, there's so many things which can affect the speed of it. So therefore it's sometimes hard to tell. But if you, let's say, did the manifestation, the affirmations, your mind is ready for it, you're ready for it, your let's say your whole being is ready for it, then it comes. But if something is off, the manifestation is maybe heading in a different direction until you align with it, and then you get it.
Okay. And that is another question that I would like to ask, because I can imagine that you out there that you like fast results. We all like fast results. So what can you recommend to get the fastest result in manifesting weight gain? So is there like kind of an action plan, or just how to go about it to get like the fastest result? Because I managed as well to manifest my weight loss in 35 days. I lost so much amount of weight, and I also managed it in 7 days. So how can that be acquired in the weight gain?
So the thing is, of course, you need to get, I don't know how to say it in the correct way, but you kind of need to get tired of your situation. If you always try to gain weight, but it didn't work, at one day you say, okay, now I really need to do it. It's like, I really want to do it and I need to do it. Like, wanting and needing is, of course, a little bit something different. But if once you really, like, your body says, hey, now is the day I start or I do whatever, and then I want to gain weight from today on, then it's the first step towards it that you, as I said, you start visualize yourself and you start writing those affirmations. I advise first thing, or let's say last thing before you go to bed, is look in the mirror and visualize yourself how you want to look like as a real, like you see it in the mirror, you look at yourself in the mirror, and then you see yourself and say, okay, that's how I want to look like. Before you go to bed, you write down your affirmations. It doesn't need to be 20, 30, a simple, quick 5, 6 to 10. It can also be more, of course. So it's not really depending on how much you're doing, but it's a couple which really fit your needs and what you are like. I want to gain this. I want to gain weight on my hips, whatever it is. Just type it, like write it down, read it to yourself. It can be loud, it can be quiet. It doesn't matter. I like to do it loud sometimes quiet, depending on how I feel, but I do it every time. And when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do, you do the opposite. You read the affirmations and then you go look in the mirror. Next thing. So it's like the opposite. In the evening, first you look at yourself, then you write it down. In the morning, you write it down. So you prime your mind already, and then you go look at yourself in the mirror. Okay. So this is the things I would do. And if you want practical steps, I can also give tips what you need to do action step-wise. A small incremental changes you can do. There's also something I can advise on, which makes it faster and easier. But for manifesting and affirmations, that's what I would do. It's simple, but it's very, very effective. But important, you need to do it on a consistent basis. If you do it one day and one day you don't do it, don't expect anything. I want you to do it every day. If you're not feeling comfortable doing that twice a day, start with one time. You can always increase. You can do it 5 times a day. Of course, there's nothing wrong with doing it more, but the most important part, stick to it every day without excuses.
Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's very nice. So, I guess we had everything that we could cover in this time. I want to thank you, first of all, for being here. But before we close this, I think we're just going to do a recap and about all the steps. So if you have not yet, again, make sure to grab yourself a pen and a paper and write it down now. So can you just recap exactly the action step? Because I heard it's like basically 2 steps or 3 steps, I would say. So if you could just recap once more.
I will do that very quickly and briefly for you. So step 1 is the day you really want to start, you tell yourself, today's the day I start. And then there's no turning back anymore. So decide you want to do it. And when you do it, you go, let's say, all out. And then you look at yourself in the mirror and you start telling yourself how you want to look like. You visualize yourself. Hey, that's what I want to look like. Is it gaining more muscle? Is it gaining more weight? Is it your hips who need a little bit more curves? Whatever it is, you design yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I need this, that, and that. And then I will be happy. Then that's what I want to look like. That's what I love. That's what I want to do. And once you have that, you keep that in your head and you start writing your affirmations. All right? Once you have your visualization of yourself, you write down affirmations to it, especially for what you want. For example, I want to have wider hips. Or let's say I want to have more weight on my hips. I want to have bigger shoulders, more muscles, whatever it is. I want to have, abs. Yeah, fine. You can do that, And then you write that down, a couple which are really fitting you. And then you do that every morning and every evening. You visualize yourself and you write down the affirmations. Last thing in the evening, first thing in the morning. And that's what I recommend. It works perfectly for gaining weight. And don't forget, guys, you need to take action towards it. Don't only manifest and do affirmations. You really need to take action.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So basically, face yourself.
Yes.
And decide what it is that you want. Visualize and affirm it. And of course, taking inspired action. So basically 4 steps, 3 steps. I think that's it. And if you have any other more questions, if you want to know more and you have something that you didn't really understand, that is fine, that is okay. You can leave them down in the comments, and we'll be happy to answer them
For
for
sure.
you. And for today, I'm gonna first of all say thank you to you for being here. Thank you for watching this live, and thank you to you, David,
Thank you
for
for having
being
me.
here and teaching the audience about a theme that I could not really catch up on. So thank you very much for being here, and we will definitely see each other
Yeah.
again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.